Now, preview time. So let's take a look at what's coming your way.
Ho, ho, ho! Merry Christmas! 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 Ho, ho, ho! Merry Christmas!
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another brand new installment of Renegades Reviews, exclusively here as always on the Casa D18 Studios channel. I, of course, am your host, the Renegade JJ Williams, and it's time for the second episode of our triple feature today, as well as the second episode of Grinchy Goodness. We're going to take a look at 2018's The Grinch from Illumination, starring Benedict Cumberbatch, Cameron Seeley, Rashida Jones, Kenan Thompson, Angela Lansbury, Tristan O'Hare, and Pharrell Williams. What's going on, everybody? Thank you for joining me here once again for another brand new installment of Renegades Reviews. As I said in the introduction, it's our second episode of our triple feature today and our second episode of Grinchy Goodness. We're going to take a look at the 2018 Illumination version of The Grinch. And our movie opens in the town of Whoville, where the Whos are filled with joy and excitement about celebrating Christmas time. However, the only one not amused is the grumpy, cantankerous, and green-furred Grinch, who was born with a heart that is 2 sizes too small. The Grinch lives in a cave with his trusty dog, Max, and only goes into Whoville in order to buy groceries and harass the Whos. Meanwhile, 6-year-old Cindy Lou Who notices that her mother, Donna, is overworked, trying to take care of herself as well as her infant twin brothers, Buster and Bean. Now, initially, Cindy decides to send a letter to Santa Claus in order to help her mother. But after an encounter with the Grinch at the grocery store, where he sarcastically tells her that if the matter is so urgent, she should talk with Santa in person, she decides to go to the North Pole in order to speak with Santa face to face. However, when Donna tells her that the North Pole would take a month to travel to, she instead decides to try and trap Santa with the help of her friends. With Christmas approaching, an attempt by the Grinch to ruin the tree lighting ceremony goes wrong, resulting in him having a flashback about his disjointed childhood, which was spent alone and unwanted in an orphanage. The Grinch soon decides that he will steal Christmas from Whoville in order to satisfy his distress. He and Max acquire a fat reindeer whom the Grinch names Fred, and they steal a sleigh from his friendly neighbor Bricklebaum. After a test run, the Grinch and Max discover that Fred has a family, so the Grinch emotionally agrees to let Fred go home with them. On Christmas Eve, after making a Santa disguise and crafting dozens of gadgets in order to help him with his plan, the Grinch and Max, who pulls the sleigh in Fred's place, go down to Whoville in order to steal the decorations and presents. He soon encounters Cindy Lou after falling into her trap and her request to lighten her mother's workload, as well as her kind advice about listening to the Who's singing to alleviate his sadness, seemingly touches the Grinch's heart. Despite this, the Grinch continues his mission, unable to let go of the loneliness that Christmas has brought him over the years. After stealing every Christmas present and decoration, the Grinch and Max head back to Mount Crumpet in order to dispose of them. The Whos wake up and are shocked and disappointed to see that all their presents and decorations are gone. Cindy Lou believes that she is the one to blame because of her trap, but Donna tells her that Christmas is not centered on presents and that Cindy's the best thing to ever happen to her. The Who's all join in together to sing Welcome Christmas, rendering the Grinch puzzled to see that they are still celebrating Christmas despite his thefts. Seeing Cindy and recalling her guidance, he immerses himself in their singing, causing his shrunken heart to blissfully triple in size. The sleigh begins to fall off of Mount Crumpet, and the Grinch attempts to save it, succeeding when Fred and his family come to his aid. After securing the sleigh, the Grinch and Max slide down back to Whoville in order to return the stolen items, and the remorseful Grinch admits his crimes and apologizes to the Who's before returning to his cave. Feeling sorry for the Grinch, Cindy Lou invites him and Max to celebrate Christmas at her house, which he awkwardly attends. When seated for dinner, he realizes that it wasn't really Christmas that he despised, but being alone and his bitterness over being neglected. With this, the Grinch finally accepts the Who's friendship and enjoys Christmas with them, giving a toast to kindness and love, the things we need most, as our movie comes to its end. Now, I want to say this is the second time I've seen this. And the first time I watched it, I just couldn't get reeled into it. I couldn't get sucked into the story, despite already knowing the story. There was just something about it that didn't connect with me the first time I watched it. But I am kind of glad that I went back and I rewatched it because I did enjoy it more this time. I'm not sure what the situation is. I know a lot of times from personal experience, if I feel like I'm forced to watch something, then I usually shut down and I don't enjoy it because it's not something that I really wanted to watch in the first place. Sometimes I then have to go and revisit that on my own time, on my own terms. And at that point, I can really accept it and enjoy it. It's very possible that's what happened here because I don't recall the circumstances of which I saw this the first time. But I did enjoy this so much more the second time. I thought Benedict Cumberbatch did a great job as the Grinch. I enjoyed Kenan Thompson as Bricklebaum, the over-friendly neighbor. I thought that the small backstory they gave of the Grinch, him being an orphanage and not getting any love or attention or getting adopted, I thought that was a good little backstory to kind of explain why he's the way he is. Much better backstory than they gave in the Jim Carrey one. But for having just spoken to you the previous episode about how I don't enjoy the Grinch having a backstory, at least this one, I feel they didn't dwell on it like they do in the Jim Carrey one. So maybe that's why I'm a little bit more accepting to this one because it literally was like a 30-second, maybe a minute scene and it was done. Whereas the Jim Carrey one, it's been a while since I've seen it, but it feels like it drags for 5, 10, 15 minutes of backstory. And it's like, oh my God, I'm good with this at this point. I get it. Move on. But this was a simple, minute at most backstory that explained his loneliness and the fact that he went through the orphanage, never adopted, never loved. It's why he's so anti-Christmas, because Christmas is the time that we come together. It's the time when families reunite, become whole again, and all that stuff. So for someone who didn't have a family, you're going to resent that. So I get that. I thought Illumination did very well here. When it comes to my rating of this, And I'm only going to give it this because of the fact that I didn't enjoy it the first time, but I enjoyed it more the second time. If I continue to enjoy this more and more as I see it, then the star rating could go up. But I'm going to give this 3.5 out of 5 stars. Definitely room to go up in ranking based off of repeat viewings. And if I enjoy it more and more each time, or if this is as good as it's going to get for me. We'll see as time develops. What do you guys think of 2018's version of The Grinch from Illumination? Let me know. If you're watching the premiere, leave your thoughts and comments over here. If you're watching on demand later in the day, leave your thoughts and comments down here. Let's have that conversation, that discussion, that debate, that interaction that I'm always asking you for in the comments below. And make sure you tune in at the top of the half hour, right here on the Casa D18 Studios channel, for another brand new installment of Renegades Reviews. And it's new release Saturday. So we've got to have a brand new film. We're going to take a look at the Netflix original movie, Falling for Christmas, starring Lindsay Lohan, Cord Overstreet, George Young, Jack Wagner, Alejandra Flores, Olivia Perez, Sean J. Dillingham, and William Bus Riley. But it doesn't end there, folks. No, no, no. Later on this evening on the Casa D18 Studios channel, as well as over on the Jeff Meacham Network and across the Jeff Meacham Network multiverse of media, it'll be time once again for open mic night. Myself, the simple man Noah Foster, James Hebert, and whoever else decides to step into the club and up to the microphone, going to be able to discuss the week's worth of news in professional wrestling. Damn it! But I digress. So much good stuff still on deck here today. You're not going to want to miss out on any of it right here on the Casa D18 Studios channel, on the Jeff Meacham Network, across the Jeff Meacham Network multiverse of media. One more episode of Renegades Reviews to come to you today, open mic night, and that's not even it. There's still so much more in store this month and this holiday season. So make sure you smash that like button. Make sure you're subscribed. Make sure that notification bell is turned on so you're alerted anytime a video drops right here on the Casa D18 Studios channel or anytime we go live, as is the case with Open Mic Night, Statboy Sports Bar, pay-per-view PLE coverage, etc. Share this video with your family, friends, loved ones, co-workers, movie fanatics, cinephiles, anybody you can think of that would enjoy my content and my videos. Fans of Benedict Cumberbatch, fans of Rashida Jones, fans of Kenan Thompson or Angela Lansbury, anybody you can think of that would enjoy my videos and my content, share it with them. It's the only way we're going to boost up my visibility in YouTube's algorithms so I can eventually get monetized, make some money on these videos. Thank you once again to everybody who joined me and tuned in today. It means more to me than you will ever know. And I will see you guys next time.